Hello and welcome to an amazing podcast. This is D, Modi, and Matt, and we are talking about the anime sensation that is sweeping both the nations. The series has been uber hyped and is uber awesome, Chainsaw Man. For anyone here who hasn't heard about the series, or who hasn't read manga, or who hasn't been on anime Twitter or YouTube, Chainsaw Man is basically the story of a guy who fuses with his pet chainsaw to kill zombies, fight demons, and get boobs. So, what did you guys think about it?
I always think that you should be like the person who writes log lines of shows. Like, that's what you should do. Because that's pretty much
should be the description of it, yeah.
Chainsaw Man completely.
Dude, don't get me started about that. Because, like, whenever I try to, look up an anime that sounds interesting or has interesting art design or something, I go to, my anime list or Wikipedia, and I see this long-ass 3-paragraph, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? Demon Slayer, Samurai versus Ninjas, or Samurais versus Vampires, Naruto, Ninja Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Pirate Dragon Ball Z. It's not that hard.
Yeah, they don't even do summaries. They pretty much just do, play-by-plays of the entire series. But yeah, Chainsaw Man is so good. It's been anticipated by, like you said, pretty much anyone who's an anime fan has been waiting for this for at least a year. And it seems like it's living up to that. I guess it's kind of gonna betray my review a little bit when I say it seems like it's living up to the hype, because it seems like that for other people, but for me it's a little bit underwhelming. A little
sacrilege.
But maybe that's just because it's been hyped so much. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
The Demon Slayer effect.
Yeah, it might actually be that. I don't know.
Also, to quickly preface this, I have not read the manga. Modi has read the manga, and Matt hates anime, so...
If you read the manga for this show, do not talk to me, because I cannot tell you how many times I've already had, several things, character deaths spoiled already. So...
Oh, wow. Wow, that sucks.
Manga readers are the scum of the earth. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man, I mean, it's funny because... I feel like there's no possible way anyone doesn't already know the whole plot of Chainsaw Man. Because I feel like it's just been... I've seen Chainsaw Man spoilers for 2 years straight. So,
yeah.
Even after the manga, even after part 1 ended, it just never stopped. So to me, it's kind of mind-blowing that there's people who don't know how this is going to end.
I don't know how it ends, I just know a lot of characters die. That's all I know.
So, for me, I've been actively avoiding spoilers and everything because it got to the point where I heard it was being hyped really hard, and I heard that there was an anime adaptation coming out. So I just, every time I saw, something with Chainsaw Man in the title on YouTube, because I don't do Twitter, whenever I see it on YouTube, I just do not interested, not interested, not interested. And that's
clever.
Part of the reason why I've been able to avoid spoilers, but I will say that
that takes so much discipline.
Unfortunately for me, I don't think I'm probably going to be reading the manga anytime soon because I'm really enjoying the anime as a person who hasn't read the manga.
God, the worst part about these things is the wait for, the story to continue. Because, again, they do 20-minute, episodes. I mean, so far Chainsaw Man's not been bad at it, but again, I kind of wish these things were longer.
What do you mean? What I don't get it. What do you mean? You mean the episode length? I wish they did what other
longer? shows did, where they have an hour-long episode, big episode, and then because that way there's more narrative gets done within the episode itself, rather than leaving it on cliffhangers. We don't even know if Denji gets to touch Power's boobs.
Damn it, right. Also, look at Matt up in here. I'm just picturing you going to, the Mappa studio, seeing all the animators, on the ground, gasping for air, their fingers bloody. It's can you do double the work?
I'm not saying do double the work. I'm saying edit it so that it's in one episode, rather than making me wait in segments of 20 minutes.
Can you not make me wait?
There's a problem with other anime too, where it's like there'll be an entire like just an action scene will take place throughout 3 different episodes, and I completely forgot what happened like from last week.
Yeah, like especially if for me, I have that problem for sure. I forget what happens week to week pretty easily. So yeah, I guess I kind of agree. But like, I feel like having longer episodes will only make that problem worse. It would just mean I forget double the stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm saying like not add in like information necessarily. I'm just saying group it together more efficiently. I mean, I get that this is the how it's done with like cartoons.
Yeah,
but
cartoons
with cartoons with the umbrella of anime fitting underneath it. Because this happens in Western cartoons as well, where they only have like 20 to 10-minute episodes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Which Japanese
I'll accept that
anime is a Japanese cartoon, so it fits under the umbrella of cartoon.
It is an animation, sir. Okay? This is a serious adult anime.
No, but
series,
then cartoon fits underneath the umbrella of animation, because not every animation is a cartoon.
Fair enough. Show your respect, sir.
Anyways, Chainsaw Man.
What did you guys think about the openings and endings?
Freaking crazy. So, I love the opening, but the fact that they've been having a different ending theme each episode.
It's crazy.
And they're all really cool and really fun. That has to break some sort of Japanese labor act. I swear to God.
Well, hey, the first episode just had like a black screen, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which I was really shocked.
But still, because they're all like really well animated too. They're not like just still frames and stuff. Like,
do we know how many episodes this run is going to be? This first run of Chainsaw Man? Is it 12 or 24?
It feels like it's 20. So
I feel like if it's 24, that's crazy to have a new ending for 24 episodes. That's insane.
I mean, a lot of the stuff in this series is pretty insane. And to be fair, Mappa has been known for doing like 5 series a year. So seeing how they've been pretty light this year and a couple of the other ones, I think it's safe to say that they probably killed a few of their animators on this one. I'm willing to put money. I was going to say, I'm willing to put money on this being a 24 episode kind of thing.
Okay, all right. I feel like I'm gonna check because I'm sure it's probably out because usually they announce it. So I'm gonna look into it because if it's 24 episodes of different endings, that's crazy. I can't wait to see that.
Hey, drop it in the comments. Let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that ties into something else I want to talk about. Ask you guys specifically since you're both CG animators, which is the fact that they're doing. You even said that the endings for each episode, like they're animating them through fully. They're not just doing slideshows or whatever. Do you think part of that is because they're saving time and energy by using CG in the show? And like, what do you guys think about the CG in general and how it's used in Chainsaw Man?
Okay, I would say that this is probably the best CG animation I've seen in an anime series, barring like fully like CG shows like Beastars and Land of Illustrious. Mm-hmm. This is probably the best because I've had a number of moments where I've just had to do double takes and I was like, "Is that CG? Is that CG?"
Yeah.
Because a lot. So, just give you guys some quick, backstory, a quick rundown. A lot of the scenes where Denji is Chainsaw Man, a lot of those moments are CG, and one of the reasons. So, this is a huge glow up. It's sad because this is a huge glow up from the CG in Attack on Titan, which was already, I'll give it a solid passing grade. But the fact that this is also integrated is really amazing. And the reason they do that is because, and this might be a byproduct of the freedom of not having to do environments, because a lot of the environments in this are CG. Like, you'll see scenes where Foxboy is like walking through a hallway to talk to Makima, and that hallway in that office is fully CG. Some of the city shots are fully CG as well. But the reason why, in my opinion, that it integrates so well is CG is naturally really smooth and really fluid. And at the end of the day, you can't animate CG like you would animate 2D. Because the first thing is CG has pixel perfect perspective, which means it's always going to look like a handmade camera. Whereas with 2D, the artist has full control over perspective, how much depth an object can have. And a lot of the time, it's impossible for them to get that picture perfect, hyper real, hyper perfect perspective. Right. The other thing is, so what they do in this, and the other thing, and that's kind of why the limited animation for me doesn't work, because I can always see as 3D and it feels like it's just stopping in place. Because I have that like cognitive, I don't want to say dissonance, but cognitive like conditioning to when I see 3D, I expect it to move like a video game 30 frames per second Pixar. But the way this gets away with it is, and it's very similar to, I don't know if you guys seen that old movie, The Iron Giant, but a lot of the scenes with the Iron Giant is fully CG, and it's a really good movie, but it's fully CG, and all the human characters are 2D, and it integrates really well because everything is being animated on ones. So there's no, like, you're not trying to, like, force, 3D into an unnatural frame rate, which is what they were doing with the Attack on Titan CG. Because here, all the characters for a lot of the scenes are being animated seem like they're being animated very closely on ones. Because, again, they have more time to animate the characters because they're not doing the environments. And since the characters are animating on ones, and the CG is animating on ones, and the cell shading and the texturing for the character models are on point, as well as the lighting, it creates a super effective blending of the two mediums. And I think I would really like to see this done more in anime. Like, I want all anime to be Sakuga, okay? I want One Punch Man Season 1. I want Attack on Titan, like, Studio Wit, ironically, minus the CG. I want that all the time in anime, goddammit.
One of like the most obvious ways that I saw differences between this and typical 2D is that like they're able to animate small movements, like very specific small movements in a lot more detail, like facial movements and hand movements and things like that you really wouldn't see a lot of the time in 2D and animation. So yeah, I think it adds a lot to it in some places. Did you have any thoughts about it, Matt?
I mean, I think it's really good. I think I forgot that it was 3D in a lot of points. It's done very well. Okay. Can I take a second to talk about the intro? I think it's one of my favorite anime intros. First of all,
because you're a film buff,
there's a ton of references.
Your favorite out of like the 2.5 anime you've seen.
Exactly.
Okay, in Matt's defense, I could totally see this being his favorite anime after watching many more.
All right, yeah, sorry for go ahead, Matt.
It's just really good. I love the chaotic nature of it too. Like, I love intros that just have a bunch of weird out of context shit happening that makes you go, whoa, I can't wait to watch more of this show. Like, there's all these characters and moments in it that are just so surreal in the intro that just really captivate my attention. I don't think the surrealness always conveys to the actual show, but I really hope that sort of energy follows through as the show goes on. I also love the scene where they're all in the theater, and there's like a lot of like character moments for each of them. Like Denji's getting fed popcorn like a fucking dog. the eye patch girl like falls
Oh, yeah.
asleep and then wakes up and then looks around. It's like when you fall asleep, you don't remember where you fell asleep at. And like Kobeni, he gets taken by power while the big, I don't know the guy's name, is just kind of like looking on with disapproval. I just think it's a really fun little character moments for each of them, just in like a very simple intro. I think it's done very well.
Speaking of characters, do you guys have any favorite characters so far?
Yeah, the dancing
me...
guy in the intro, the weird tree dancing man. I don't know who he is, but I love it.
Oh, the future devil.
Is that who it is? Okay.
Oh yeah, him. Wait, is that the tree devil? I didn't even know there was a tree devil.
I think it was the future devil.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, you see this
in the intro. There's one scene where he's like fucking grooving out.
Yeah, I love that so much.
What about you, D?
I'm gonna put my vote. It's hard right now, but I would say my top 3 are probably Denji, Pochita, and Power.
Oh. You know, that's funny. I never see Pochita in people's rankings. I mean, he's there, but like not often. But yeah, that's a good one. So you said Denji, Pochita, and Power. Yeah, mine would probably be. I'm gonna cheat a little because I read the manga. My number 1 is Kobeni. My number 2. My base instincts are making me say Makima. I'm gonna have to say Makima as my number 2, and then my number 3 is Power.
Nice. I'm still waiting for that Kobeni dance scene. Oh my god. I've been seeing memes of that.
Oh.
Like, even though I've been blocking Chainsaw Man, those memes are the one thing I wasn't able to block out. And it feels like it's like the JoJo's torture dance thing. I'm just waiting for that so badly.
That's not even the funniest stuff with Kobeni.
I feel like I'm going to like Kobeni a lot, but we'll see. So far, it's episode 4, so it's hard for me to really get a good gauge on any of the characters. I like Himeno just because I think eye patches are really cool. And she's got an eye patch, and that's cool. But the rest of the characters I'm kind of unsure about. I'm fine with them as they are right now. I just hope that some of them are taken in different... I hope they take them in a direction. Like, if they remain static throughout the entire thing, it's gonna be really annoying.
Yeah.
Are there any characters specifically you want to see go in a direction, or just all of them?
Primarily Denji. I think right now he's. I think it's funny that his main motivation is that he wants to like touch boobs, but I seriously hope like he goes in a more interesting like direction than just kind of like simplistic idiot. I don't know.
I feel like a lot of the time with shonen, it follows the flat character arc kind of progression where the character doesn't change. He changes the world around him. No, the main character, the protagonist doesn't change. Instead, he changes the world around him, kind of.
Well, I mean, like if Denji, we talked about this a little bit before, D. If Denji's like sort of character thing is he recognizes that he's just a really like lonely person, I think that'll be at least be like a little bit better, like rather than just like I talked to D before this right after I watched the episodes. I hope he gets like disappointed after he touches. Like I think it would be cool if he realizes that what he really like wants is like friends and any kind of have like personal connection with people.
I'm gonna have so much fun watching Matt go through this series.
Look at Matt thinking his characters can be nuanced.
I mean, no, like I said at first, I mean, I'm not gonna say don't expect character arcs from Denji, but I think you just won't expect what's coming. Like, I don't think anyone will expect anything that's coming in Chainsaw Man. I guess that's okay. That's all I can say. Yeah, it'll just.
I'm happy.
Don't expect our characters to be good.
No, you can expect that. You
Listen.
can expect that you're gonna love everything, but you just won't know what's gonna happen. Like, yeah, you just won't see it coming.
Can I make an observation real quick? This is the second anime in a row that you guys have made me watch, where a like lovable goblin idiot with a demon inside him is adopted by a sexy weirdo with strange eyes, is then put under the supervision of an edgy dude with black hair who can control wolves with his hands, and forms a like weird sibling bond with the crazy woman on the team.
Wow, that's.
I just say.
Wait, when did Matt watch Naruto?
Oh my god, it's a Naruto too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah, but like it I didn't realize. It's funny because I thought Chainsaw Man was more unique, but when you guys break it down like that, yeah,
it is different. It's just you notice these little tropes as you.
But I will say I always thought I always got the same vibe from Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, they feel similar, and that's another reason why I'm glad that they're being animated by the same studio, because they know, I guess, the way it should feel. I guess is the best way to put it.
To be 100% fair, I think I'm gonna like Chainsaw Man a lot more than I am Jujutsu Kaisen though.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. No offense to Jujutsu Kaisen, but Chainsaw Man is on another level in my opinion.
I do find it really interesting that I never really realized the impact Naruto had on like the whole shonen artist community, because again, like, this is like the third series that kind of borrowed from Naruto in a degree, because like, yeah, Denji, Power, and Foxhand Boy, they're kind of like, again, they're like a more polished version of Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Haha, suck it, One Piece fans. How many Luffy clones do you see running around?
I think what Chainsaw Man has for me that, like, what's interesting me the most about it is, again, I hope they make it a lot weirder than what we've seen. And I know we've already seen a man, like, have a chainsaw sprout out of his head. But right now, from the episodes that we've seen, it follows a pretty, like, generic formula with ideas I feel like I've seen a lot already. But, like, the vibe that I get from the intro and from the just kind of the way that people talk about the show, I hope they take it in a lot weirder creative directions.
But, so, we were talking about this earlier, but Modi, have you noticed, because I was talking to Matt about this earlier, but have you noticed how, like, a lot of modern shonen, well, it feels like a lot of modern shonen are just defaulting to demons as, like, a basic enemy type? Because, like, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, I'm trying to think of what else.
I feel like that's not necessarily a modern thing, honestly. Like, you go back to, like, the 90s, the 80s, like, it's always been all about demons. Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, what's that other one? I'm forgetting names of stuff. Inuyasha. You know, like, it's. I feel like it's always been about demons with with anime.
Okay. I feel like this is I think it's just interesting that it feels like, I guess, the big 3/big 4, majority of them have that kind of format though, because, like, would you consider Demon Slayer in the big 4 right now since it's ended? Because I know it's like, what, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and My Hero currently the big 3, right?
I might. I think in terms of sales, it's still up there. It's possible. I don't know. If you're talking about for Shonen Jump specifically, I think it's a good chance. If you're talking about manga in general, I would say no. Definitely not.
Yeah. No, for anime, definitely. Like, I think in terms of shonen anime, the big 3 are Demon Slayer, My Hero, and Chainsaw Man currently. I mean, Chainsaw Man might fall off. I hope it doesn't. I have very high hopes. But I think after the season, it probably will be, like, those 3.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
because I feel like the hype for Jujutsu Kaisen kind of died off pretty quickly.
It hasn't. I don't feel like it's died off for me, but that might just be because I generally am in like the weekly manga community, so I always hear the hype for the new chapters and stuff. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Chris.
Do you guys what do you guys think in general about like the premise of Chainsaw Man and like the demons and stuff like that?
Yeah, I actually wanted to expand on that. Right now, the weakest part of this, just like Jujutsu Kaisen and a lot of anime that I've seen, are the antagonists. I think so far the demons that we've seen have been incredibly uninteresting, and kind of the same like what Dee was saying. Like, it's not just that it's demons, but it's also demons that are like, haha, I am the dick demon and I want to take over the world and eat all the blood or something. It's just like,
and all the dicks.
Yeah, that too. Well, I mean, I wish there was a more interesting. I wish than just them like, oh, I want to eat all the blood or I want to kill. It's like very, like I'm not like really digging the designs of any of the demons yet, and I think they just kind of act all the same between anime, at least from the limited viewing that I've seen. And
the way they act,
I'm tired of it.
The way they act reminds me a lot of One Punch Man villains, especially season 1.
Like, they're all so one-dimensional. Like, the demons, like, I think that's the biggest issue, because I feel like One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, and Dragon Ball Z, the, like, villains were kind of one-dimensionally evil, but I feel like they had a little bit more going for them. I feel like the demons, a lot of the time, in like a lot of recent shows, like Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, they all have this just like, oh yeah, we're evil because we're evil and we need to be evil.
Yeah.
Like, I think I really enjoyed the Tokyo Ghoul manga because it did have the whole, like, you have a race that literally lives by consuming humans, but they added so much more nuance to it than a lot of these other shows.
But they never explore it. They never explore like the villains or the like demons, or like, it's always so very black and white. And usually the interest, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to, because most of the interest lies in the heroes themselves, and what's going on with them. And usually they're pretty good at that. I just think there's a lot of potential to explore more about, like, again, like I was talking to Dee before, a lot of times the trope is that, like, oh, these demons are born out of fear or something like that. But, like, fear is an integral part to the human experience. It's like, why does it always have to be, like, evil in this sense? Like, there's no, like, consideration for any kind of nuance of the villains. They're just evil for the sake of being evil. There's that one moment in Jujutsu Kaisen where Mr. Jujutsu Kaisen has a second of reflection, being like, wait, I'm killing people technically. And I just wish that was explored more in shonen, because right now it's just like an easy way to write off, like, we don't want to worry about it.
Yeah, because that's the interesting thing, because, like, fear is like you said, it's a survival instinct. It's a survival instinct, and you could argue that it is a backbone for, like, moral stability. Because, like, it isn't, like, a bad emotion, and it would be nice to see a show, like, a series tackle that as a more grayish kind of thing. Because, again, if you don't have fear, you're suicidal. Like, I remember this whole saying that, like, courage without fear is just stupidity, kind of.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second. So, let's suppose that you live in a world where devils exist and devils feed on fear. Alright? Wouldn't it make sense for them to have the personalities they do in Chainsaw Man?
I feel like they feed on,
Or like if they feed on the fear, not on fear specifically, but that they feed on the fear of, whatever the specific thing is, like chainsaws or.
It's less about like me critiquing like how demons are in the nature of the world, and more of, I wish the writers of the story would challenge themselves to write more interesting antagonists, because right now I'm not really getting anything from what the demons are in this one. Or at least if you're gonna go full out evil, at least make it more fun. I didn't really think that the bat demon or the zombie demon, or they just kind of said generic one-liners, and then like, oh, I defeated the hero, and then it was like, what? He's powerful all of a sudden. Oh no! It's like it kind of plays out like the same thing every single time, and I just want them to like change that up a little bit at least.
Oh my god, the zombie devil was so bad. It's like, I hate devil hunters because they kill us devils.
I mean, well, how's that not reasonable though? That's so reasonable.
You don't say it. He doesn't have to say it. It's such a corny one-liner so for a show that takes us like, I don't know.
Is it obvious though? Because if he didn't say it, wouldn't we all just assume that he hates? Oh wait, was it devil hunters?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. All right, yeah, you're right. That is obvious. He didn't need to say
It wasn't like
it wasn't humans. I thought it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was like if it was something like, oh, the strawberry devil was my boyfriend and you took him from me. Now you're going to die.
That's how it was like the leech devil or whatever.
I just want to tease something to you guys. Should I do this? Mm-hmm. No, I'm not gonna.
Go ahead.
Not gonna do it.
Just tell us: are the antagonists going to be more interesting? Just tell us that. Don't spoil anything.
Yeah. All right. So, if the devils in this world feed on fear, right?
Mm.
Their world is pretty much our world, the Chainsaw Man world, right? Minus the devils. Mm-hmm. So just think about what kinds of things are feared in the world. What kinds of things might be feared in America specifically?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god. I'm hyped now. I'm really hyped now. Not for the thing you're not for like the real world thing, but I'm hyped for the Chainsaw Man thing.
Yeah. Like the reason I asked the question about like what do you guys think about the concept in general is because for me personally, I think the concept has a lot of potential to go like to get very deep very fast depending on how you take it. And at least in part 1 in the manga, I'm not going to spoil too much, but like I think the author doesn't like shy away from doing that. So yeah, that's why I think it's pretty interesting.
Okay.
Now, I will say, I love the concept of how they do their power scaling, where, like, the more an object would be feared in, like, the real life in, like, standard society dictates how strong the devil version of that is. Yeah. I freaking love that.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a really cool idea. Also, how does it work in Jujutsu Kaisen? That's another similarity, right? How do the demons in Jujutsu Kaisen work?
I think it's somewhat similar.
So it worked in
Is it also based on fear?
Yeah, so it works in a similar fashion. I think they quantified it as like negative emotions. Because like the main villains were like fear of humans, fear of like water, fear of like the land. Mm-hmm. But I feel for some reason Chainsaw Man feels like it's executed a little bit better than Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's because they established that like rule of real world, I guess, association applies to all demons instead of just the main handful of villains. Because when you look at a lot of the demons in like Jujutsu Kaisen, they're all very abstract and they don't really link up with a specific fear or anything aside from like the main villains. So the fact that they followed through with that design philosophy for Chainsaw Man is really helpful.
Plus, Chainsaw Man has just a much simpler combat system overall. It's just simpler overall. It's just like, oh, the chainsaw devil and his chainsaws come out of his body parts, and there you go. There's no like expansions or not that. I mean, I like the Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, so I don't even want to compare it like it's bad or anything.
Yeah, I feel like there is a definite charm to simplistic power, like easy, like straight to the point power systems.
Yeah,
like I felt like Jujutsu Kaisen's power system, it was way too complicated for what it needed to be.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't.
jeez.
What?
Chainsaw Man and like Jujutsu Kaisen came out like the same year.
Yeah, I was
Wait,
gonna
really?
mention that. I was gonna mention that
Hmm.
when Matt was talking about the similarities between them, because yeah, they came out around the same time and they blew up in very similar ways, like the mangas, and they were running around the same time. So it's like really interesting how similar they are, and they have like the same vibe too. It's like really weird, you know?
So what you're saying? Yeah, because like Jujutsu Kaisen came out March of 2018, and Chainsaw Man came out in December. So
Yeah,
what you're telling me is, if I want my anime/manga series to do good, I need to copy Jujutsu Kaisen.
pretty much, essentially.
There you go.
Perfect.
Um,
I was just saying, I find it funny how there is just like how I noticed that with creative like humans have like their own lineage. A lot of like art has that lineage has their own lineages as well. And again, I like this whole like I find this whole lineage of like what was it? Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter so fascinating.
hmm Yeah, same. Although I mean, I'm not even Chainsaw Man it just feels so different to me. Chainsaw Man almost feels to me like it's its own genre.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, what did you guys think about the? This is something I rarely ever mention, but like when it's really good, I notice it and I mention it. But did you guys have any thoughts about the voice acting?
The voice acting is really
It's great.
good, and I heard the dub, and the dub is top notch as well.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, I didn't even know
Yeah.
the dub was already out. Okay.
Yeah. I feel, pardon me, but okay. Again, another preface. I watch subs and dubs. I prefer dubs for action series because I can get more immersed, and because I have a bad habit of whenever I see. When I was in college, I took Japanese classes. And I remember this one moment where two of my Japanese professors were speaking in Japanese to one another, and my eyes, for some reason, just instinctually started looking down at them. And I think it was because I watched so much sub anime that whenever I hear see people speaking Japanese to each other, I always expect there to be subtitles. But odd anecdotes aside, I feel like I get more immersed in dub anime because I'm able to suck it, take in the entire world and the entire screen, and because oddly enough there are no subtitles in real life. But that being said, it drives me crazy because I always want to highlight when there is a good dub, because it always drives me crazy when people say there's no good dubs all suck, when again there are good dubs out there.
Ghost Stories.
Here's what
Yeah.
I think.
Boom.
Okay, I mean, I know this isn't the time for the sub versus dub debate, but I think subs are better almost objectively overall. And that's because you can't when it's subs, when you hear the actual language that the words, the script is in, there's so many little nuances and stuff that you just don't get when you translate to another language, that I think is just underappreciated. Nuances that even if you don't speak the language, you'll pick up on it, right? Mm-hmm. If you hear it, but you wouldn't notice it if you just heard it dubbed. And I don't know, I feel like there's just a lot of stuff that just makes sub better. Now, I think there are shows that the dub is better than the sub. But I think agree. A lot of the time, those shows are not going to be shonen, because shonen dialogue is typically pretty simple and over dramatic and melodramatic and stuff like that, and kind of cringe, honestly. So when you hear it in English, it doesn't work. But I think for shows that are more marketed towards older people, the dubs tend to work out a lot better.
I'll say that I will admit 70%. I think of all the dubs I've heard, I think 30% of them are better than the subs.
Squid Game.
Okay. As someone who watched
Squid
Squid Game dub, I will definitely put that in the 70% lost title. But for anime,
I forgot about that. You should be sent to jail. Like, I can't believe you did that. That's crazy.
To be fair, okay, so like I will say that, and this is a slight tangent. Some shows definitely, I will agree. Some shows definitely work better dubbed than subbed. Like JoJo's dubbed is freaking is so weirdly better dubbed than it is subbed.
Okay.
And I'll say, because the reason I say that is, like I said, there are nuances in Japanese language that doesn't always translate well to English. But a good dub is something that can illustrate those differences or rewrite it in a good way. Because like with JoJo's, like in Japanese, the characters speak really straightforward and very like normal human beings. But in the dubs, the dubs go so hard and so wild with the dialogue that it actually fits everything really well.
Yeah, they style. Yeah, I guess I'll add that to my statement, which is that I think the other time when dubs can be really good is when they don't necessarily try to just copy what the Japanese is, like specifically. They like stylize it and make it something their own, just like what you said, Matt. What was that show?
Ghost Stories.
Yeah, there we go. Ghost Stories.
That was a situation where
that's like an
the
extreme
show was bad.
example, but yeah.
So they like just said do whatever you want with it, and they did whatever they wanted with it. I mean, I think it works best with comedies, dubbing stuff, because like
true.
You don't necessarily need you don't necessarily need to be true to all the nuances. I think I definitely agree with you. I think subtitles are usually more like true to the original intention of what the show was trying to get across, like just naturally.
Yeah.
But
Listen.
I think it's hard to compare them when I think either. It's just like up to personal preference, and sometimes they're both good on their own right, because you get talented voice actors and they'll make anything good, just
yeah.
True.
Listen, if I wanted to read, I would watch a visual novel.
Not even read a book, just a visual novel.
Were there any moments that stood out to you guys?
All of it, like, dude, the level of execution for all the fight scenes in this were so good. Like, all 3 of the fight scenes in these 3 episodes were super top notch.
Yeah, true.
The zombie devil fight, the bat devil fight, the the leech devil fight. Oh my god, all of them are just so top tier. And okay, also, I'm gonna make a patented D prediction. The Strawberry Devil is definitely the main villain, right? He's gonna come back and start going like, "Is that what you're talking about?" Like,
it goes against my philosophy. It goes against my philosophy, but I'm just gonna go ahead and release a spoiler. Yes, you're right. The Strawberry Devil is the final villain. Yeah,
fucking knew it.
Freaking knew it.
Were there any moments for you, Matt, that stood out that you thought were cool?
Well, quickly, I just want to say that I think I like how they gave the they didn't interrupt the combat all the time like they usually do. Like when Mr. Chainsaw when the Chainsaw Man goes all out, like they just let him do it.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say?
All right. So this is perfect. I'm glad we can have this conversation now, because now we have a control. So we have Jujutsu Kaisen, which is a show where they have the battles and they're pausing throughout and they're talking and they're strategizing and stuff. And then we have Chainsaw Man, which is when they get into the action, they just do the action, right? Mm. This whole issue that you have is just an issue of... It's just an issue of style, right? Like the Chainsaw Man way is more like something you would see in a Western show, like Avatar. They just go into the action scenes.
No.
Pretty much anything.
They
just go, right. they go into the action scene, they have the action sequence, and then they move on to something else. So you can like both. I like both, but like I feel like you seem to think that the Jujutsu Kaisen way is worse, and I don't necessarily think it's worse. I just think it's it's different and it has its strengths. Like I like fights that are more slowed down sometimes and like strategized, and I mean I like hype action scenes of course too, but yeah.
I kind of want to take both sides on this because for me, I think both of them work really well. Like if I had to pick one, I would definitely choose. Like I would like my ideal fight is something that has its action moments and its strategizing moments. But I would like the strategizing moments to be more organic. So something like the main villain gets knocked back and dazed, and while they're trying to the villain is trying to rebalance themselves, then the main characters do their whole strategy moment. It's not like the whole villain being like, "Oh, I'm just gonna sit here and let you guys contemplate for a couple of minutes." But I don't think there's a big issue. That being my preference, but I don't think there's a big issue with either of those. My biggest issue is with flashback hell. I hate it so much where they just start off the action and then halfway through the fight they just do a flashback.
Okay,
there was a fight scene in My Hero Academia where they were fighting Captain Birdface, whoever's the Yakuza's guy's name was. And as soon as they both hit their over the top anime transformations, they just started pasting the dude's backstory in random periods throughout the fight scene, and it drove me freaking insane.
It breaks up the fight scene and it interrupts the flow of any kind of actual emotion that's happening with it, and it telegraphs things that it's already doing. You don't need to tell me what you're going to do or what this character does or what this character's motivations are. It's animation. I'm able to tell by what you're showing me. I hate to the greatest animation that's ever come out. Well, actually came out last year, but fucking Arcane. I'm trying to imagine a world in which in Arcane, Vi is inside her head being this Silco is did a bad thing and I have to make sure I left punch him. Oh no, I'm surprised. It would be so annoying. You can tell the what the intentions of the characters are and who the characters are through the actions they take in the fight scene. You don't need to telegraph it. It's just insults my intelligence, and it's also you just
okay.
It's just lengthening out the thing. I get it. You don't need to explain it. I get it.
We understand, Matt. Your IQ is really high.
It is.
Watch
It's
Rick
so
and
high.
Morty.
I've watched so much Rick and Morty. They've done so much incest lately. I don't know why. It's weird.
I just thought of a good way to maybe look at it. I don't know if this will change your mind at all, but the way to look at it is, I don't think you should compare them because they're different things. In Chainsaw Man, the fight sequence is a fight sequence, right? The fight is part of the larger story, but in Jujutsu Kaisen, the fight is the story. That's why you have the flashbacks within it, to explain motivation, stuff like that. That's why it's a play by play. It's because that is the story. So if you want to enjoy it, I would say you should maybe try to look at it from that perspective. This is the story. It's not just a battle sequence in the midst of the larger story. Yeah, it can be in the midst of the larger story, but it is a story in itself a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Fights are incredibly integral to telling, especially in an action show, are integral to telling a story. But similarly, if I'm watching a dialogue scene and a character just says, I feel sad. This person's ignoring, that's a lot less effective than seeing a character actually do actions and the way that they integrate through subtle. You don't need to explain everything out to me. You have great action scenes, just do the action scenes instead of drawing this out for an extra 30 minutes.
Right.
And that's
Okay.
the way I see it. I think fight
Alright.
scenes for both this show and Jujutsu Kaisen should be very important to the plot of it. I mean, and like ultimately they are. There's like high stakes, and they tell us more about the characters and what they do. You can do that, but through just the fight scene. That's what they're for. They're ways of telling us about characters and about the story without having to tell us. But I mean, I get people like the other way, and it's completely valid. Like, I know I'm sounding like a dick, but that's just not my preference. I don't like it when they do that.
Oh my god, we need to get Matt to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I am so fascinated to see what his thoughts on that would be. Oh
He
my
would hate
god.
it. He would hate it. I mean,
I
based
don't
on what
know.
he's saying. I mean, wait, come on. Based on what he's saying, everything he's saying, like, JoJo is the antithesis of what he wants to
I
see.
don't know.
I like One Punch Man because it's making fun of that a lot of times, even though it does it itself.
But the other thing is, he doesn't like
One Punch
shonen,
Man doesn't
like,
do
anime
it.
tropes. Like the other thing though is like JoJo's doesn't have as many like anime tropes, and that's like something that I'm really fascinated by. Because like,
Yeah, but
JoJo's
he literally does not like the idea of characters sitting there and thinking while they're fighting, and that's literally all. Like, I can't think of a series that's more that than JoJo. That's all JoJo is. They just
do it in a way that's like unique and cool and stuff. But it's just like, I just don't like the way that these shows do. Like, it's not like a rule written down that you can never do that and I won't like it or something.
To be fair, I don't think you've seen any of the shows that do it in the best way. Like, I don't think you've seen any of them. So maybe
you're
you
probably
just
right.
need to see a
Like,
good one.
because that's why I think JoJo's works, because a lot of times when they're explaining stuff, it doesn't seem that super, like, obvious. Like, you have a scene where the main characters are in, like, spacesuits inside of a prison warehouse in zero gravity with piss flying around and, like, exploding rats and everything. I feel like you would definitely need, like, a exposition dump just to explain what's going on. And I think you would be appreciative of that.
Yeah.
But back to Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, I guess the last question I was asking was any moments. Did you have any moments specifically, Matt, that before we went on the tangent that you thought were
I liked
interesting?
when the first time Kobeni showed up and like her one dialogue was like a squeak.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, I can't wait to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it had a lot of really charming moments. I like the part where as soon as Denji is like in the warehouse, like when they find him in the warehouse alone, and he's like,
oh yeah,
tired, and like he just says like hug me, and like it's not done in a weird like pervy way. It's like more of just, I don't know.
It's actually really interesting because I know I read one comment that in the manga, he doesn't say hug me, he says catch me. And I like the idea of that because that's way more natural.
Yeah.
And then you can have like the moment of him like, oh my god, this person actually hugged me. This is the first time I've ever felt like real kindness.
I also get bad vibes from what's her name. I like her, but I get bad
know,
vibes
right?
from her.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
actually, wow. I guess
Also, Denji kicking Edgy Boy in the balls just continuously.
since this is the first review at the beginning of the series, I want to get on the record what you guys think about Makima. Your official opinions on Makima.
She makes me very uncomfortable.
Okay.
I think she's obviously very manipulative. I don't know. I get bad vibes in that way. I don't know though. Like,
Okay.
I just know that she's
like-
very manipulative.
I feel like she is the epitome of the whole idea that strong people don't need to raise their voice.
Yeah.
Like, she is easily the quietest person in
that's
that
true.
show, and she's easily the most intimidating one.
And she never
Yeah,
shows like
for sure.
direct like anger or like negative emotions, but you can still like feel it. Or you can even like tell through the what's the name of the guy, the edgy guy with black hair again? You need to tell me so I can actually say
Aki.
his name. Aki. You can tell even through Aki's reactions that he has like a great amount of like respect for her. Or so it's like, I think she's like, I actually like her a lot as a character. And I even like like I like a lot of the characters actually. Like I said again, I really like the scene where Denji is continuously kicking Aki in the balls over and over again.
That scene.
Because he's like more he's more used to like traditional ways of fighting, and he's just Denji doesn't give a shit.
Nut or nothing. Nut or nothing.
Yeah, that was also one of my favorite moments. Yeah, another one I liked was Power, when she tried to blame Denji when they were in trouble with Makima, saying that like he commanded her to kill that devil that she wasn't supposed to kill. Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so even though I said like my top characters earlier on, it's all so close because they're all just. I think that's like just the biggest strength of the series. Like every single character is so good.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Anything else you want to say about the first 4 episodes?
I really enjoyed all of them, and I can't think of really anything that I'm really disappointed by. I think it's a very strong series, and if I had to bet money, I'd be willing to bet it on this being like the next like classic series, like Attack on Titan or Fullmetal Alchemist.
I kind of wish that at the first episode, I kind of wish that I know they do the thing in the anime where the first episode it shows like their daily life, and then at the end of the episode something tragic happens and they go to their like call to adventure or whatever right away. I kind of wish we got to see a bit more of Denji's miserable life before like we started this whole thing, or even like a little bit more. I do appreciate them not just over explaining everything, but I feel like there's a lot more to, or at least I hope there's like a lot more to Denji that doesn't necessarily get we don't necessarily see in the first episode, but by the first episode everything's already upended.
Right.
So I just hope we get a little bit more of that without it being too forced. Because like I don't know, I wasn't that interested in his like well, actually I just wanted to know more about his like background before I could like make any judgments about his character, and him going straight to just being like a perv, but like a perv that respects consent, you know.
Yeah. May I touch him?
Although he needs to wear some sunglasses because he's constantly staring at people's tits.
No, I feel like that'll just make it more obvious.
No, it could be a thing where he's like, "Oh, these sunglasses are so cool."
It's like Denji.
That's
why is your
them.
It's like Denji. Why is your head in my lap? It's like, oh,
he's
damn,
like
these
head
glasses
down,
are not doing anything.
Oh, good.
I hope his motivations become more than I want to touch tits. But I do like the simple nature of it, where it's not just like, I don't know. I appreciate it, but I hope it's not that the entire time.
I appreciate how passionate he is. My predictions is he's going to go from like touching boobs to touching butt. That's his next character arc.
Aki's butt.
I like that prediction. Do you have any predictions, Matt?
I think that no.
Okay. All right. That's valid. You're valid. Good job.
It's good that we're finally getting a protagonist with a relatable motivation, though. You know.
I know, right?
Hey, finally. I think being the number one ninja is very relatable. Okay.
Damn right. Damn right.
Ratings? You guys have any ratings you want to give for these first 4 episodes? Just like in total, not each episode specifically, unless there's one that you want to single out because it's too bad or too good.
I want to say 9 out of 10. I think it loses a point because some of the dialogue, especially in the first episode, is hyper blunt and serves a very obvious purpose. But aside from that, I think it's a really great show.
Okay. Matt? Score?
I bet you'd love for me to subscribe to your archaic rating system.
Oh my god. Here we go.
I don't
we
know.
go.
It's really hard for me. It's hard for me to tell because I think it's hard for me to judge a show 4 episodes in because
Matt,
I don't know.
give us a score, okay? Give us a score.
It has.
We don't want to hear this.
4 Kobeni cars out of 5.
Oh my goodness, that's an 8. That's
Fair
an 8,
enough.
folks. That's an 8 out of 10. All right.
Not necessarily.
Yo.
And also,
Like,
for the
we're counting
record,
it.
an 8 out of 10 from Matt is like a 12 out of 10 from any normal person. So
Yes.
yeah, just
I think it's
just
a really
noting
good
that.
show. It's got a lot of strengths, but I also see a ton of repetitive shit, and I hope it kind of gets over that repetitive shit.
Like what could impress him? Like what actually what seriously, like you want like the perfect golden unicorn show. Like I don't get it. Like
I told you I like it, and I gave it a good rating. I just don't think it's like my favorite genre of show. Like I just
okay, so it's just the genre, but the way you're
I just
you're
found him
characterizing
so
it, it's
repetitive
like,
to me. Like I like this
We're
show
gonna
a lot, though. I know it sounds like I'm being harsh, but
We're gonna show Matt Boku no Pico, and he's gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
yeah, honestly, that's what'll end up happening. Maybe this will be a discussion for next week, but I don't even think it's a shonen. I would make a lot of arguments that it's not even shonen. But anyway, let it be known that Matt loves Chainsaw Man, and it's a 12 out of 10 for him, pretty much.
it is.
I would give it also a 9 out of 10, just like you, D. I agree. It's very good. Not perfect, but very good. Probably it's one of the best shows this year for sure. And
Easily. I think it is the best show this year.
the only reason it doesn't live up to the hype is because the hype was just the most unreal hype I've ever seen for any show in like my whole life. That's it. It's very good.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But like I said, I hope it gets really weird. I hope it really lunges into like just weird abstract stuff. Because I feel like that's where its strengths would be. Because after all, it's a show about a man whose head turns into a chainsaw, and I love that, and I want them to lean into that. I hope they don't play it safe. I hope they don't do like the same kind of BS that's in everything. Just do something weird. Do something cool.
I can't wait to see. There's some parts that I want to see a reaction for. I have to check to see if they're going to be animating the whole part 1, because if they are, then this is going to be interesting, because there's some parts I know are going to be cool to see what you guys say about.
How many chapters is part 1?
98, I think. 98 chapters. So if
98.
So if they were doing it optimistically, like if they were doing it and they were doing it well paced, it would be like what 20. They could do it in like 24 episodes or something like that. Like maybe, you know.
Yeah, because typical shonen
26.
is like 4 chapters an episode, so they could easily do that.
Yeah. Well, 4 chapters when it's actually well paced, which I don't think is that common. Honestly, I don't know. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. So thank you for listening / watching, if you did, to our review of the first 4 episodes of Chainsaw Man. Come back next week for our reviews of episodes 4 and 5 of Bleach. Right, the next 2 episodes of Bleach.
Yep.
And then the week after that, we're going to be doing 5 and 6 of Chainsaw Man. So 2 weeks from now, we'll be back on Chainsaw Man with Matt.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for watching.
Don't
and have
worry.
a good week.
You guys need an antagonist, okay?
Don't worry, Matt. We're not gonna make you watch Bleach, okay?
Thank God.
You can.
I might
by
need
the way,
bleach for my
if you
eyes.
want, if I didn't bother asking because I think the chances are very low. But if you want, you can, hop in on Bleach too if you want to watch it.
Oh no, he would hate Bleach.
I'm totally up. I will watch like Food Fight or like any garbage shit for the funsies. I could
watch
definitely
Bleach then. Pick up Bleach, and we're doing a review. So that means you have to watch 5 episodes by next week, okay?
Oh, only 5 episodes. Okay, I was fully expecting the show to be like 2 seasons long, and I would just like hop in like without the context of like the previous 2 seasons.
Well, technically, there's like 300 episodes before this, but it's
okay. Cool.
Don't worry about it. We'll fill you in as needed.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It doesn't.
You'll get a
You won't be completely lost.
Patented, yeah, you'll get a patented deluxe log line for the series.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey, was that a pun on your name or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
Of course, it had to be.
You guys need to be shonen me some good stuff now.
All right. This podcast has run way too long. It's been over like 2 years ago. Okay, all right. Thank you for watching and have a good week. Bye.
Bye.
Take
Mwah.
it easy. Bye.